Come with me, for beyond this cover hides a doorway to another world. Step carefully now. Ah, but dear listener, a tale rarely rests where the heart is most fragile. For though the first chapter closed upon the laughter of a queen and the secret longing of her fool, the story of Finn does not linger in stillness. No, love, once seeded, seeks soil in which to grow, and when it finds none, it twists toward dangerous light. So let us return not to the gilded hall where courtiers prance and queens wear heavy crowns, but to the shadows just beyond, for it is in moonlit gardens and hushed whispers that destiny often changes its course. Tonight the fool's heart begins to wander, and temptation wears a velvet voice. Chapter 2. A Fool's Heart. Despite his lowly station, Finn dared to dream. Dreams came to him not in sleep, but in stolen moments between laughter and jest, in the quiet hours when his bells were silent and the weight of painted cheer slipped away. He dreamed of walking beside Isolde, not as her fool, but as her equal. He dreamed of lifting her hand not in jesting performance, but in the solemn clasp of a companion. In his heart's theater he saw himself freed from motley garb, clothed instead in silks and velvet, his name spoken not with laughter but with respect. But dreams, he knew, were fragile things. They wilted beneath the harsh light of reality. For what was a fool to a queen, save a moment's amusement? Dreams alone would never raise him from the dust of his station. If he wished to draw near her, if he dared imagine a life by her side, he would need more than longing. He would need a plan. Yet plans were dangerous for fools, were they not? A fool was meant to juggle and jest, not to scheme. Nobles conspired, knights swore oaths, kings commanded. A fool was expected to bow and grin and vanish at the snap of fingers. But Finn's wit was sharper than most swords, and wit, when turned inward, grows restless. One night, after a particularly raucous feast, Finn sought air beyond the stifling warmth of the great hall. The palace had echoed with song and laughter, goblets spilled with wine, nobles boasted of hunts and horses. Finn had played his part well, leaping and capering, mocking lords with riddles so sly they cheered while being mocked. But once the torches dimmed and the revel ended, he slipped away. The palace gardens stretched vast and quiet beneath the moon. Statues of kings and saints stood sentinel, their stone faces pale in silver light. Roses grew thick along marble paths, their perfume heavy in the stillness. A fountain murmured softly, its waters catching moonlight like spilled stars. Finn breathed deeply, glad for the solitude. Here, away from the crowd, he could shed the mask, if only for a little while. It was here, beneath the watchful gaze of stone guardians, that he first met the man who would alter his course. A figure emerged from shadow, a tall man cloaked in sable, his steps measured, his presence deliberate. He moved as though the garden were his own, as though even the statues bowed in silent acknowledgement. "Finn," the man said, his voice smooth as velvet, carrying easily in the night air. Startled, Finn turned, his hand instinctively brushing the bells at his belt. Few ever sought him beyond the court. Fewer still knew him by name without laughter trailing it. "You know me," Finn said carefully, the jester's cheer slipping into guarded curiosity. The stranger inclined his head. Beneath the hood, his features were half hidden, but his posture spoke of nobility fallen on harder days. I know you well enough. You are no common fool, Finn. Your wit is a blade, and blades are meant for more than juggling words. Finn's heart quickened. Compliments often came wrapped in mockery, yet this voice held no laughter, only weight. "And you are?" Finn asked. The man stepped closer, moonlight glancing across a gaunt, weathered face, handsome once, now marked by exile. "Lucien," he said simply. "A man who once dined at these tables, walked these halls in velvet, and held estates that now belong to others. A nobleman, stripped of name but not of ambition." Lucien's eyes glittered as he studied Finn. "I have watched you. Not just tonight, but many nights. You play the fool, but I see the truth. Your mind is keen, your heart restless. You are wasted in bells and paint." Finn shifted uneasily. "And what is it you want with a fool, Lucien? Words and riddles will not win you back estates." A smile touched Lucien's lips, though it did not warm his eyes. "No, but cleverness can. Cunning can. You are quick, observant, underestimated by those who think you harmless. That makes you dangerous, should you choose to be." Finn frowned. Dangerous? He was a fool, a servant of mirth. And yet the word struck something deep in him, something he had buried beneath years of performance. Lucien lowered his voice, smooth as silk drawn across stone. "I will not waste words. I have a proposition. Help me reclaim what was stolen. My wealth, my name, my place. In return, I will share it with you. Enough gold to buy a title of your own. Enough to lift you from the dust. Enough to stand, if you dare, beside a queen." The words hung in the night like forbidden fruit, ripe and gleaming. Finn felt his breath catch. A title. Nobility. Equality with Isolde. The dream he carried like a secret ember flickered dangerously close to flame. But caution pressed upon him. "And what path do you offer, Lucien? For gold won in shadows often carries a stench that lingers." Lucien's smile widened. "Ah, wisdom with wit. Good. The path is not without danger nor without deception, but all roads to power are paved with such stones. Tell me, Finn, do you wish to remain forever the Queen's fool, or do you dare to rise, to claim a place at her side, not as a jester, but as a man of worth?" Finn's heart thundered. He thought of Isolde's smile, the sorrow that lingered in her gaze, the quiet laughter they shared in rare moments of honesty. He thought of himself, painted and jesting, forever at the edge of her world, yet never within it. Dreams alone would never bring him closer, but here before him stood a chance. Dangerous, yes, but real. The fountain whispered as though urging him on. The roses filled the air with sweetness, masking the sharpness of choice. Above, the moon bore silent witness as Finn extended his hand. Lucien's grip was firm, sealing the pact beneath the pale light. And in that clasp, Finn's fate shifted. The path of jest and laughter, bent toward shadows and ambition. He did not yet know the cost. Few who make bargains in gardens under moonlight ever do. But the die was cast, and the fool's heart, once burdened only by impossible love, now beat with dangerous purpose. Thus ends Chapter 2, A Fool's Heart. But beware, dear listener, for when fools make bargains beneath moonlight, the jest often turns dark. Until next time, may the fire keep you warm.